Hey guys, Big J Gaming here, and today I want to do something a little bit different. Today I want to talk about something that has really been irking me for the past couple of days in The Walking Dead Online, and I just need to say something about it and start a conversation. So, recently when I've been playing this game, playing with friends, playing with factions, I've noticed a disturbing trend in the way that randos play, as far as I can tell. See, people have been combat logging. Now, what is combat logging? I'll get into in a moment. But this is not good for the game. I don't like this sort of strategy, this way people play. It's a real pain in the butt. So, what is combat logging? Well, combat logging is shown as such. I think people can see the problem with this pretty quickly and why I have a problem with it. See, it's already enough that this game has bugs and, typical stuff. It's a newer game. You're going to have that. That's fine. What really ticks me off is when those bugs become game breaking. Rather than just a small inconvenience like, oh, you have a ghost item every once in a while that you have to place another item over, it actually kind of ruins the game. See, the whole point of this game when you're fighting is that you're fighting with stakes. The stakes are your loot, your car, your base, even. Those things have to be real stakes in order for the game to be fun. If you're not fighting for anything, it's just kind of a mindless, first person shooter. It's not much different than Call of Duty with zombies, or even just plain Call of Duty zombies. So it would appear that if you can just save your stuff, or at the very least deprive the player of what they rightfully deserve for killing you, that's wrong. That betrays the spirit of the game. And I don't think that should ever be allowed under any circumstances. That's wrong. It's one thing to get your loot back if a cheater kills you and the mods decide to compensate you. That's one thing. But for giving players a scummy way to deprive the other player of their loot and to keep their loot, that's pretty bad. And this is not the only way this is a problem. I mean, I've seen people die and like completely die. Not just in that clip where the guy gets shot at and then he just leaves, but a guy die, him leave, and then his body disappears. That's a pain in the ass. That's not fair. If you die, the players who killed you should be able to get what you had. That's just, I think, a common courtesy of any survival game. I think it's really wrong for players to abuse this bug. And I think the developers need to fix this immediately. I don't see people talking about it enough. I want to raise awareness on this. This is game breaking. This right here, I think, is probably one of the most game breaking bugs in this game right now. There's a lot of problems with the game. There's some glitches. There's some things that should be added. But this right here has to be addressed ASAP. I love this game. I don't want to have to suffer through this exploit or have other players do the same. It's not fair because if you waste your ammunition in this case on a player, you kill the player, you're excited, you're happy, and then his body disappears because he leaves the game, or he just gets shot at and he decides to leave the game. That's wrong. That should never happen. So then, what do we do? Here's what I think should be done. First off, you can't, if you leave the game, your body doesn't disappear. That's the one thing. And two, there needs to be a punishment for those who leave, a combat logging system. I've seen this in other games. If you get shot or injured, you should be in combat, and there should be a timer until you're out of combat and you can leave safely and keep your items. If you leave within the combat window, then that means you will lose your items. There should be a punishment for this scummy tactic, and I don't want to see it anymore. I This whole game is about battles. It's about fighting. So I don't want to see a exploit that incentivizes bad behavior that makes fighting worthless. If you can just scum out of the game, in a fight, mid-fight, and you will keep your stuff, and the enemy gets nothing. So they wasted the bullets, the bandages, all the food. Maybe they lost a teammate. All that was for nothing. And it just makes the game almost unplayable. There's no point in wasting time in a survival game where your opponent can just kind of cheat out of, dying and losing their stuff. It takes away the biggest part of the game, which is, living, fighting, dying, relooting again. That cycle that keeps this game alive. And I wanted to address this now because I was playing today with friends and I saw this happen at least 3 or 4 times. And it's a pain because these were geared players. We wanted their stuff. We needed the ammunition. And we wasted our very hard to get 5.56 ammo. And we were really pissed off that we couldn't get anything for this. It's not like, oh, we lost a little bit of ammunition. Like we'd expend 10 to 20 rounds, which was all we had in the gun, and then next thing you know, there's nothing left for us to get because the body is gone. So we just have to move on. It just makes me angry. It's unfair. This needs to be fixed. I would encourage the developer to fix this, to add a combat system ASAP, at the very least, to make it so that if you leave while you're dead, the body doesn't disappear, or if you're unconscious, because that's just annoying. That's wrong. It does not make the game particularly fun. Look, I know it's not a whole lot, but whenever I see things like this, I just I want there to be change. I want to raise awareness, and I hope that maybe this will encourage other players to stop doing it. I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But when you get shot and you get killed, you lose your gear, the other player gets what you have. It's only fair. Because if you can scam someone else out of your loot, people would do that to you. That's not a fun experience. Nobody likes that. I died a lot today playing with some friends. I was not actually really that upset, but I was like kind of bummed that I lost all the good gear, but I didn't log out, and save my stuff or deprive the player of what he rightfully deserved. No, I tried to go back and maybe tried to fight him and whatnot. I didn't try to scam, people out of their stuff. And we should not only not encourage that behavior, but we should make it a feature of the game that this activity is impossible. And yeah, people can combat log and just lose everything, but at least they're punished for it. They will be punished for engaging in that type of activity. So I think I'm going to keep making videos. If I see a feature or something that needs to be quickly fixed, something that really catches my attention, I will make a commentary like this on the video, a video like this. And I hope to drive some conversation, make some substantive change for a game that I really like. I hope that the community itself benefits from this sort of thing. And if any of you have suggestions, maybe you want to have a conversation with me or play with me, please leave a comment below. I'm more than willing to play with anyone. If any factions reach out to me, please do. I'm in the Discord. But this was a pretty short video. I don't really have a whole lot. But to any of you who are watching and subscribed, thank you. And if you aren't subscribed, please do. Like the video. I hope you all have a great day, and much love.